All right. You wouldn't believe it if I told you, but I was a child star. I wasn't an actor or a singer. I never wore shiny pants or had teeth as white as one of those Osmond children. But I got to kiss people on the lips, especially strangers who would remember me years later for my passion, my precocious knowledge of love, and how I sometimes put my eye to their mouth and looked inside like longtime lovers often do. And there were parties with music and dancing and 5 different kinds of pozole. I wore a cape and my mother made me a crown out of cardboard. Sometimes we would tie up the sick with ropes, and I'd address the tumors floating inside their abdomens as pobre extranjero or muchacho desafortunado, depending on size. And the tumor would answer back with what it was thinking, how long it planned on sticking around, what it wanted out of life, that sort of thing. Looking back now, I recall that when you talk to a tumor, you often forget your main objective, which is to tell the tumor to give up its claim to the large intestine, to detach itself from its handsome nest in the colon. Tumors are devious, and they tell the best stories. They get you to feel bad about them, because all they want is a little appreciation, someone to flick quarters into cups with, and maybe a little goodnight kiss, a hat in the winter. Still, you have to remember that you are the famous one, and the man with rope around his body wants the tumor to leave. Just talking to tumors will get you nowhere in life. You have to do what your brother taught you to do. If you still can't do this, you can take the easy way out. Make circles in your palm with a piece of thread and think about something beautiful. But neither of these things work much for me anymore. You only get one shot at being a child star. I remember how my friends used to come into the church multi-purpose room and sit at my feet and stop fighting each other and ask me about the Salinas football match, who I thought was going to win, and where they should put their doll. It doesn't work like that, I would say. I can't tell the future. They would hang their heads. Do you have any tumors? I'd ask. No, not yet, they would answer woefully. But Manny got bit by a dog and it got infected. Doesn't count. Can you talk to dogs? Mine's pregnant as shit. No dogs. But they would sit there anyways, waiting until I said something important. Because in Hollister, there was nothing much to do, and I thought I was the most interesting thing that would probably ever happen in that town. But my illustrious streak didn't last that long, and mostly everyone will tell you something different, or perhaps nothing at all. Once you drive out all the tumors in town, there isn't much else to be done. Then the big thing happened, which I'll eventually get around to telling you about. And that was pretty much the end of it. Your mother folds your cape into a little shoebox and puts it on the top shelf so that mice can't get it. You walk to the ice cream truck with your cardboard crown on, and your friends push your head into a tree, and it starts to rain. You hear the raindrops soaking into the crown, but you can do nothing. When you finally get your head out from the tree, you drop your choco taco in the grass and accidentally step on your crown, which collapses into the bottom of your shoe. And it's worse than stepping in doo-doo, because at least stepping in doo-doo, you can explain to your mom, and she can bend down low and spray it with Lysol, and you can leave the shoe outside for a couple of days and wear sandals. It's always worse to step on your crown. Some nights, I'm frozen out of sleep with the memory of those times. And I think my little room is infested with an insect that burrows deeply into a part of me that isn't there anymore. I try talking to whatever might be there, hiding in a fold of ribcage, peeking from a bedroom drawer, but it's no use. At times like these, I sit up in bed and stare back at the bare walls all around me, remembering my brother, my mother, and the soft voice that first spoke to me from the cavern inside her womb. I've done everything since then. I've loaded trucks. I've seen the best movies in town. I've been arrested and released at dawn. I've trusted and been trusted. You can see my name on the jukebox at La Cerolita, where I dance every Thursday through Saturday. If you go inside and ask somebody about it all, they might remember, depending on their relation to the sequence of events. Nowadays, people know me for my dancing skills. They say, hey, here comes that guy who invented el osmosis. And at this I shake my head, because I know that I never invented el osmosis. It pains me to wonder who they're thinking of, this inventor of el osmosis, who may or may not look exactly like me. Sometimes I argue with them, insisting that you can't invent a dance craze that doesn't come from human beings, but is a biological principle of nature. I tell them about the liquefying particles in the atmosphere, which bears resemblance to the porous nature of human flesh, and how when you want something badly enough, you sweat it into being. But they mostly just shake their heads and say, no wonder, a crazy dance invented by a pinche crazy. I've learned to say nothing, to slowly lift my toe off the floor and jiggle my pelvis as if releasing itself from the rest of my skeleton, flying off from my body to penetrate a semi-permeable membrane. That's how it's done. They like it when I don't say anything. Perhaps no one can perform el osmosis like I can. Not even the inventor, wherever he may be. Thank you.